The order to cash cycle cannot be completed until unless you have the finished goods readily available in the warehouse to be invoiced. So we'll go to the next cycle, which is the produce to plan cycle, where necessary actions will be taken to get these stocks or finished goods ready. Now that the order has been received and the respective advance payment has also been collected, it is time for starting the production. This is where the plan to produce cycle will start. So the first process is design or engineering. So if the metal fabrication company has an in-house design or engineering department, so they basically create the drawing and populate the bill of material. And this bill of material can be created in SAP Business One as an item master with bill of material. When the bill of material is created, information like the part numbers, the descriptions, the unit of measure, the quantity, all of these are fed into the item master along with the bill of material detail by the engineering department. If required, a detailed drawings can also be attached to the item master, as SAP Business One has the DMS capability. Not only that, if there is any revisions to the drawings, even those can be maintained inside SAP Business One itself. Once the engineering department creates the item master and bill of material, it's time for planning department to do the MRP, which is the next functionality. MRP stands for Material Requirement Planning. Now, MRP is like the brain of SAP Business One because it's a very sophisticated transaction and it kind of reduces a lot of manpower which is required for creating the finished goods and delivering to customer. So what a MRP does is it considers the list of items which are available in the open sale order or which are available if you generate a forecast. What a MRP does is it comes up with a list of items which are available either in a forecast. If you're a company which has forecast of non-confirmed items, then forecast is also considered, and items available in open sale order. It builds a list of this and checks for this particular item what are the list of raw material required to be procured or to be bought. Now when doing so, it checks what is the already existing stock available for those raw material. Is it short or is it available in surplus? Not only that, it also checks if for those short raw material, are there purchase orders available in the system. It then creates an order recommendation list. The order recommendation list has two categories. One is the make list, the other one is buy list. For all the items which are bought from outside the company, it creates a buy list, which is either created as a purchase request or a purchase order. For all the items which are fabricated or created or built within the company, it creates a make list, which is then converted into a production order. Now, once the planning department verifies the order recommendation list and finds it's fine, then they can update it or post it. So what happens is the purchase department gets all the items to be procured as a purchase request or purchase order right in their screen, and the production department gets all the production orders that they need to process to deliver the finished goods right in their screen. Well, both of these departments do get an intimation. Their screens get populated by a purchase request or a purchase order. Now, what I just said right now in material requirement planning, if it has to be done manually, it's a very tedious job and it is not a scalable action at all. The more item codes you have, the more part numbers you have, and the longer the bill of material, this task of doing a manual material requirement planning becomes very, very tedious, and it consumes a lot of people and a lot of man resources, and is definitely not scalable. This is where an application like SAP Business One comes very handy because it's completely automated. The plan to produce cycle cannot be completed until and unless all the raw material required for production is completely made available. So we'll move on to the next cycle. Now that the raw materials have been received in the warehouses, let's go back to the plan to produce cycle. We had left it at MRP or planning stage there. We have the list of production orders which needs to be executed listed in the production user screen. Note that all these production orders have two stages, a plan stage and a release stage. When it is in the plan stage, everyone in the production department can view it but cannot take action on it. Only if it is released, then we can start executing the production order. This is to ensure that control is maintained in the production environment. So for all the production orders which is in a plan stage, the production supervisor or the production department basically opens the production order, looks at what are the various raw material required and what is the quantity of raw material required for producing the production order, and if that is available in stock or not. Now let's assume that from the procure to pay cycle, the stocks have come inside and the production order has the required stock to execute the order. Now there are three types of production order which are available for the metal fabrication industry in SAP Business One. The first one is a standard production order wherein you can issue the material to the production order through a stores, and once the production is completed you can receive the material and the production order will take account of the raw material consumed in the finished goods produced and its back-end journal postings. That is standard production order. You also have a special production order exclusively developed by us for the metal fabrication industry, wherein you can have one single input and you can get multiple output. Now this is specifically required in places where you basically take a large metal sheet and do the nesting and create smaller piece parts through a laser cutting process or a flame cutting process or a plasma cutting process. Now that's not something which is standard in SAP Business One. We, from our expertise in this metal fabrication industry for more than 10 plus years, have developed this particular production add-on which converts a single plate into multiple smaller piece parts. The third type of production order is a multi-level BOM production order. Now what this production order does is every metal fabrication industry has a multi-level BOM. The raw material basically comes together to be welded into small sub-assemblies, and these sub-assemblies get welded or get fastened to larger assemblies, and finally the finished goods is produced. So we have a multi-level BOM in most of the metal fabrication industry, and this production order helps to achieve the multi-level BOM in just one screen. The way this particular multi-level BOM production order works is in one screen the entire BOM and its processes are reflected, and the stages or routing are also sequenced. So what happens is once a stage or routing is completed, it goes to the next stage and further next stage and so on, and during completion of each stage the respective raw materials are consumed through the bill of material at the back end, and the semi-finished goods required for the next stage is produced. Not only that, during each stages there is also a stage-wise quality available wherein the parameters are loaded and the inspections can be done against those parameters, and the accepted and rejected quantity can also be created. The first and last production order that I mentioned, the standard production order or the multi-level BOM production order, can be used to create the finished goods.